Hey everybody, VSG Joe here, and tonight I'm actually getting ready tomorrow to make some jerky. If you like me, jerky, you love jerky, it's very good for you. Really good protein snack for us. However, if you look at the store-bought stuff, it's one, expensive, and I'm cheap. But two, also, it's usually packed with a lot of sugar, and so it kind of defeats the purpose of being this high-protein snack when you've got all the carbs coming with it. So that being said, I like to make my own jerky. I make it in a couple of different ways. I have smoked it before. Most of the time I do it in an air fryer. This kind, I'm going to smoke, but you can do it a couple of different ways. So I'll go through showing you the marinade. We're actually going to make a quick marinade. We'll put it in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning we'll actually do the cooking of the jerky. So without further ado, it's going to get a little dish. A lot of them you'll see use a lot of soy sauce. I don't like that flavor, so we're actually going to use Worcestershire as the base. So we're going to go about 2/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. This might fall a little bit short, I'm not 100% sure. Worked out for us. All right, so it's about 2/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to use a little less than 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. Once you make this once or twice, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But if you do a lot of soy sauce, it just comes out tasting like, well, fish. So we're not making fish jerky here. But all right, so we got that in. Next thing, this is going to be a sweet and sour, a sweet and spicy type jerky. So we're going to go with a teaspoon of garlic. There we go. Do a teaspoon, maybe a little bit less of black pepper as well. That's about half a teaspoon of black pepper. And it's going to sound like a lot, but a tablespoon of red pepper flakes. There we go. And to speed this up, I'm going to do a dash of cumin. That's probably about a 1/4 teaspoon. And we're also going to do a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. This I am going to measure because, you know, it's cayenne pepper. We don't want to light anybody up, so I like mine spicy. So, there we go. And then we are going to add about 2 teaspoons of steak sauce. Pick your steak sauce, doesn't really matter. This one's kind of like almost an A1 type profile versus Heinz 57, but put some steak sauce in there. There we go. We're gonna do a pinch of salt, and you don't need too much salt. It's already got Worcestershire sauce, it's got soy sauce in there, so it doesn't need to have a whole lot of salt in it. Now, no, we're not recreating the end scene of Scarface with Al Pacino here, but we are going to need some sweetness in here. So we're actually going to add in erythritol, or however you say that. But essentially it's artificial sugar. It'll help sweeten it up, but won't add all the sugar and calories of a regular sweetener in there. So there we go. Now we're just going to stir this up. Set this down. This became an ASMR video. All right, and that's it. We're gonna go ahead and take this, move it out of the way, and we're gonna set our marinade to the side. Now, I got this. It is eye of round steak. It's just been cut very thin, and I got this at Walmart. It was on sale. This makes really good jerky with it. All we're gonna do is cut this into strips. You can cut it into whatever shape you really like, however big you want the strips to come out. It's up to you. It's your jerky. Make it how you want to. I'm going to cut it into thinner slices just because that's how I like it. So a sharp knife helps out tremendously here, but that's it. So as you'll see, some of the pieces kind of come out like this, which is fine. Some of them come out like this, which is also fine. And you get the point. I'm not going to show you every single slice of meat here. So there we go. This is about 12 ounces. You can, certainly this marinade should cover up to probably 1.5 pounds or so. But don't worry about your slices being even. You open up a bag of jerky, usually the pieces aren't all uniform. It doesn't matter, it's fine. If you can't find eye of round steak, you can use pretty much anything. You want You want it to have a little bit of a fat content to it to keep it from being very dry. But that's it. Flank steak works very well. Actually, I'm going to cut that one in half. Oh, look there. Didn't even get my finger. Great. So flank steak works really well. You just don't want to do like a hanger steak or anything that's really, really tough. So, all right. All the kiddies are in the pool now. So all we're going to do is take this marinade, dump it over the top. And we're just going to turn these, make sure everything is incorporated. And as much as you can, just push the meat down into the marinade so that it stays pretty well covered. Quick wash of my hands here. All right. And that is it. We've got it sitting in there marinating. So at this point, I'm just going to cover it up. I'm going to put it in the fridge. I'm going to let it go overnight. And then tomorrow morning, I will smoke it. But like I said, this marinade is still good if you want to do it in your oven, if you do have a food dehydrator, or even in an air fryer. All good ways to do it. But it starts with this. So we're going to go ahead and get this in the refrigerator, and we'll see you guys in the morning. All right, everybody, so we are back. I have taken the jerky out and just laid it out and dried it with paper towels, and now I've got it on a rack. It's going to go from this rack directly onto the grill to get some smoke. If you don't have a rack, that's fine. You can always just set it directly on the grill. Obviously, you're just going to deal with a bunch of little pieces, so just more convenient if you do have a rack that you can put it on. Other than that, this has been sitting about 20 or 30 minutes. You just want it to be completely dried. I'll probably hit this with a paper towel again, but you want it to be very dry when it goes in. Obviously, the more moisture you can get out of it, the better your jerky is going to turn out. So we'll let this sit here. It's coming up to room temperature. I've got the grill going, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the grill here in just a moment. All right, guys, and we are back. I have got my charcoal basket going here. Just a little bit of charcoal. We're going to target between 160, 180 degrees. Somewhere in there I'm going to be happy. All the way up to 200 would be fine. Probably not less than 140. So we get around 160, 170, 180, somewhere in there. Happy man. So what I've done is I just got a charcoal chimney. I got a little bit of coals because I'm going to do this on my Weber kettle today. I do have a old Pecos smoker that is 36-inch cook chamber, but for that little bit of jerky, I'm not going to bother heating that whole thing up. So pro tip, this is just a charcoal chimney used. What I actually did was I turned it upside down, and then I just got a little bit, and it makes it a lot easier than trying to heat up just a little bit of charcoal inside of a charcoal basket. So let's go ahead and get this poured in. So I'm going to try to keep it all off to this side. See how we do here. Alright, not bad. So I've got it right here. I'm going to go ahead and move this. So what I did do though is I had this leftover charcoal from last time I grilled. It's still fine to use. So what we can do is actually just take a couple from this side and we'll put them on here because I think we'll need a little bit more. Let's go ahead and put our grill back down. Ta-da! And we'll go ahead and lift this up. So we got a spot here. We can go ahead and just move more into it. Other than that, I'm going to close up these vents on the bottom to just barely open. And let me go ahead. I've actually got a temperature gauge here, so we can go ahead and put that in. And guys, if you don't have this, just use what you got. It's fine. All right, so that is in, so that will monitor our temperature. And then we've got the top right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up about a quarter. So we're cooking at very low temps today, so we don't need a whole lot of oxygen coming through here. The meat's going to be on this side of the grill, so you want the heat and the smoke to come across the grill and out this side. So just whatever side you've got the meat on, that's the side you want your vent to be on. That way it does pull it across there. So all right, we're going to let this come up to temp, and we will get the meat on here in just a moment. All right, everybody, we are back. So I've overshot my temperature just a little bit, but we're still well under 200 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on. So first thing we are going to do is add this chunk of cherry wood. I am using cherry today. You can use hickory if you want to. So we're going to add that on. I'm also going to put a second piece over here, just to keep it warm. That's really it, so that it ignites, quicker next time. So at this point, let's go ahead and just get our meat positioned in here. I'm actually going to try to turn it this way. See how that works. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So got my meat in there. Make sure it's not on top of the fire there. As you can see, that cherry is starting to come up. So we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on. And I've closed off my bottom vent almost completely at this point, just because it's just hard. It's already, let's take a look. Yeah, it's already 75, almost 80 degrees. It's going to go up to 92, so it's not going to take much to keep this this small kettle at around 180 degrees. So that's it. So this is going to take about 4 to 6 hours to get done, and we'll just come check on it periodically. You just want nice thin light smoke. It's probably not even picking up on the camera, but that is perfect. You don't want a ton of smoke, otherwise your jerky will taste like gasoline. So yeah, we're gonna let it go, and we'll get back here in just a little bit and check on it. All right, everybody, it's about 2.5 hours later, and we've been rocking about 160, 170 degrees. Had a little spike down to 140, but yeah, doing all right as far as that. So going to show you how it looks, and we're going to turn these around probably. So give me just a second here. So off comes the smoke, and this is actually looking pretty good, so we might not have a whole lot longer. Not sure if you can see that very well, but so I'm just going to turn this. As you can see, the ones in the front and towards the side are a little bit darker. Flip that around, and we're just going to cover that back up. Probably, from what I'm seeing there, another hour and a half when we should be done. So I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, so we are done. I've got my jerky off. It's been cooling off a bit, and as you can see, we are good. Nice, good strips. Kind of bend. You can see them kind of break apart a bit. So that is done. That's as dry as I want it. As far as flavor on here, good, nice and spicy. Not as sweet as I thought it would come out, but still very good. So maybe next time another tablespoon of erythritol or erythritol, whatever it is, the artificial sweetener. Might help it out a little bit sweeter, but I really enjoy this. Nice smoky flavor from the cherry, the cherry wood that we put on there. So all in all, really good the way it came out. Once again, if you don't have a smoker, don't want to bother with it, because this took about 4 hours. Then I would say probably your air fryer is the next best way to do it. Takes about an hour in the air fryer, so at about 180 degrees. So kind of same process though. You lay it in there, make sure it's flat, make sure it's dry, put it in there, you're all set. So hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and we'll probably be making some more batches of this here shortly. So that's it. We're done here, guys. Enjoy your jerky.